Okay, so I thought this was cool. Look, it's no secret that Angel Reese has had finishing woes throughout her professional basketball career thus far. In a sense, it's been something she's been scrutinized and even mocked about.
In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the basketball community, Angel Reese, once a collegiate sensation and now a rising professional star, has been unexpectedly removed from her team. Nola Henry, the dynamic and up-and-coming coach in the unrivaled league, has captured headlines with her daring decision, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning the reasoning behind this move. What led one of the league's youngest and most talented coaches to part ways with such a prominent player? The surprising exclusion of Angel Reese from the Rose Club squad has sparked intense speculation and debate, highlighting the unpredictable nature of professional sports dynamics.
Off somebody's leg or foot or didn't.
Well, typically, to me, Lisa, the longer it takes proves that there was not conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the floor.
Then just say that and let's move on. We want to see some basketball playing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's explore the remarkable rise of Nola Henry. At merely 29 years old, Henry has swiftly made her mark as a head coach in the unrivaled league, showcasing an extraordinary blend of talent and determination. Her career launched in 2020 when she began as an intern with the Connecticut Sun, gaining crucial insights and experience under the guidance of former head coach C.T. Miller. Demonstrating her capabilities, Henry advanced through the WNBA ranks, securing a position as a trusted assistant coach for the Los Angeles Sparks. Her leadership skills shone brightly when she stepped up as interim head coach for 2 games. Now, Henry is one of 6 head coaches leading teams in the newly formed Unrivaled League, where she mentors some of the most skilled players in the sport.
Congratulations, Nola! One more. Rose on 3, 1, 2, 3, Rose!
Among the standout athletes on her roster is Angel Reese, the dynamic forward who has captured attention both on the court and beyond. Celebrated for her relentless drive, exceptional skills, and vibrant personality, Angel was anticipated to be a cornerstone of Nola's Rose Club team. However, what circumstances led to her unexpected removal from the lineup? In her initial press conference, Henry expressed enthusiasm for cultivating strong relationships with her players and implementing sophisticated strategies. She underscored the significance of collaboration and discipline, stating, "I'm looking forward to the scheming, but I'm also looking forward to getting to know these players and building something special." Yet, it appears that certain factors or individuals have unsettled her plans for the Rose Club.
If it's one thing I learned from Kurt, it's how to prepare. That's probably the number one thing that he's taught me. So just what's going through my mind is just game plan stuff, just what I need to do to be prepared, how to make the players feel better, make them feel most comfortable and prepared. So just everything going through my mind right now, aside from the gratitude and the appreciation, just for the moment, the opportunity is just preparation, game plan stuff. I'm thinking about the game.
Insiders reveal that friction started to emerge during the initial phases of team practices. Reese, celebrated for her intense competitive nature, reportedly had conflicts with Nola Henry's coaching approach. Team sources suggested there were disputes regarding player roles and strategic choices, with Angel allegedly challenging some of the coaching methods. Boasting a talented roster that features stars like Chelsea Gray, C.A. Copper, and Brittany Sykes, Nola Henry faced difficult decisions. In such a fiercely competitive league as Unrivaled, full commitment to the system is essential from every player. When it came time to finalize the Rose Club roster, Henry made the decisive choice to remove Reese from the starting lineup. This unexpected move left fans astonished and sparked discussions about the dynamics between coach and player.
Rebounding the ball really well, specifically on the offensive glass. I think since adding the addition of Angel Reese, adding to Elizabeth Williams, both elite rebounders. So I think one emphasis is just trying to go out there and, rebound the ball. That's a pretty big emphasis for us. And then just playing our game, going out there, competing, having fun, trying to embrace doing the little thing.
Following practice, Henry addressed the media about her decision without specifying any names, stating, "As a coach, it's my responsibility to make choices that benefit the entire team. Sometimes that involves making difficult decisions, but I stand by each one." Although Angel Reese wasn't directly mentioned, the intent was unmistakable. No individual player surpasses the team's needs. Fans swiftly voiced their opinions on social platforms. Some commended Henry for upholding her values and prioritizing the team's welfare, while others questioned the judgment behind removing a player of Reese's talent, with one fan tweeting, "How do you bench Angel Reese? She's a game changer."
When they were playing all of those games in those weird courts where there wasn't that many fans, that was a similar atmosphere to Unrivaled. And the court, by the way, looks beautiful. The graphics, the lighting, all of the things looks absolutely beautiful. But you didn't get that crowd energy like you do get from any other basketball.
So, what's next for Angel Reese? Although she remains on the Rose Club roster, her spot in the starting lineup is still uncertain. For Nola Henry, this decision represents a crucial turning point in her emerging coaching career. Will her bold choice pay off, or could it backfire in the high-pressure environment of Unrivaled basketball? Angel Reese is facing an unexpected reality check in the Unrivaled League. Her move to 3-on-3 basketball has been anything but seamless, with performances that have led fans to question whether she can truly compete with the league's top talent. In her early games with the Rose Club, Reese has been underperforming. Her shooting percentage is dismal, and defensive mistakes have cost the team vital possessions. Even in games where her physicality stands out, her inability to adjust to the faster pace and tighter spacing of 3-on-3 basketball is glaring. Simply put, Reese appears out of her depth, highlighting the significant gap between her and Caitlin Clark. Clark, who has effortlessly adapted to the Unrivaled format, has been delivering standout performances. She's scoring from all areas of the court, dishing out highlight-worthy assists, and leading her team with exceptional leadership. While Reese struggles to find her rhythm, Clark has firmly established herself as the undisputed Rookie of the Year for 2024. Look at the numbers. Clark is averaging over 20 points per game, shooting an impressive 45% from deep, and nearly 6 assists per game. Meanwhile, Reese is barely reaching double digits in scoring, shooting below 30%, and her defensive ratings are among the lowest in the league. The excitement that surrounded Reese from her college days seems to be fading quickly as Clark continues to widen the gap between them. And if you think Reese is trailing far behind Clark, think again. Kate Martin, another rookie who entered Unrivaled with much less fanfare, has been on fire. The Iowa standout has been quietly dominating games, using her versatility to outplay her competition. Martin is shooting exceptionally well, playing lockdown defense, and making a strong case for being the second-best rookie of 2024. Her ability to rise to the occasion has been remarkable. She's not just excelling in her role, she's thriving under the pressure of Unrivaled basketball. Fans and analysts alike are beginning to wonder, has Angel Reese been overhyped all along?
We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now, and Caitlin Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough, but I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
Angel Reese is in complete disarray after ESPN dropped their 2025 rankings. reality hit her harder than any defender she's ever boxed out this season. She strutted around convinced she was the undisputed queen of the court, exuding that "I define women's basketball" vibe, only to be shocked when ESPN didn't place her in the top 5 or even the top 10, but at 12th. Yep, 12th. And let's be real, that's still way too high. But hey, it looks like the crown slipped. Now she's reacting as if someone swiped her favorite pair of designer sunglasses, going full meltdown mode. Maybe ESPN just replayed her latest blooper reel at Unrivaled.
So, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is comfortably holding on to second place, completely unfazed, letting her performance speak for itself while Reese scrambles to keep her reputation intact. It's crazy to think that not long ago, everyone was trying to manufacture a rivalry, pitting Reese against Clark as if it were a genuine debate. Remember when even the commissioner was joining in on the hype?
Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
Well, consider that debate a closed chapter. The divide isn't just obvious, it's downright embarrassing. Clark never even broke a sweat, effortlessly outpacing her rival, while Reese is probably busy rage scrolling through her mentions, trying to tweet away the sting. Still skeptical? Check the facts. Let's be real. This is pure humiliation for Angel Reese. She had all the hype, the media frenzy, and every bit of trash talk at her disposal. She built her brand on being that unstoppable game changer. But when it came time to back it up, she ended up stranded outside the top 10, clutching nothing more than a participation trophy. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been quietly dominating, dropping triple-doubles, shattering 62 records, and effortlessly redefining what it means to be a sports superstar. No gimmicks, no excuses, just unfiltered dominance.
Okay. And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2. They had Caitlin Clark. I said, really?
And spare me the whole, but she's a double-double machine excuse. Sure, racking up double-doubles is impressive, but what's even more impressive? Being the main reason fans tune in to every game. Remember when ESPN practically radiated an anti-Clark vibe, as if they were allergic to admitting she was the standout? Well, even they had to eventually admit the truth. She's the magnet, the one drawing all the attention.
You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
The numbers don't fib, the stats are crystal clear, and now even the rankings are laying down the truth. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans are squinting at the list, desperately scrolling as if her name were hidden in microscopic print. Sorry to break it to you, but landing in 12th place isn't exactly what you'd call superstar status. It's like showing up to an exclusive VIP bash convinced you're the guest of honor, only to be left waiting outside while Caitlin Clark is inside, commanding the room. And those critics of Caitlin Clark really pulled out every narrative in the book to paint Reese as being on her level. Now, it's just silence, crickets. Honestly, it's almost serene without all that noise, isn't it?
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball, great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
Let's not kid ourselves. If the roles were switched, the story would be entirely different. Picture this: Caitlin Clark dropping to 12th, while Angel Reese lounges comfortably at number 2. The internet would be ablaze, with sports shows devoting whole segments to dissecting it. Reese's fans would be celebrating like they just clinched the WNBA title. But now that Reese occupies the 12th spot, suddenly those rankings lose all their meaning. ESPN's list? Completely irrelevant. Funny how that conveniently shifts the narrative, isn't it?
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won.
The truth is, rankings do matter, especially when you've built your entire persona around drawing eyes to women's basketball. And Caitlin Clark? She's locked in at number 2, though let's be honest, she ought to be number 1. But that's cool. She doesn't need to top the list to prove she's the face of the sport. Her record-breaking plays, packed arenas, and jaw-dropping highlights have already said it all. This ranking just confirms what we've known all along. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, yikes.
And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware, like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. You got to see this clip. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game. Angel Reese strips a player at one end, runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind her.
What's even more hilarious is that ESPN has finally caught up with reality. Caitlin has become indisputable. Remember last season when, for reasons that defied all logic, ESPN placed Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark on the rookie list? Yes, above the very Caitlin Clark who was out there breaking records like it was her day job, pulling up from the logo and making defenders question their entire careers. And what was Reese doing? Just vibing. That's really all there was to it.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rickea Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6, Caitlin Clark.
Now the truth is out, and the rankings finally mirror reality. Caitlin Clark isn't just great, she's a generational talent, while Angel Reese, maybe next time, try less talking and more hooping. Sure, Angel Reese did snag some rebounds, credit where it's due, but beyond that, what were we really watching? A highlight reel of missed shots, lackluster defense, and an offensive output emptier than a vending machine after midnight. Yet somehow, despite all the brick shots and defensive blunders, she was hailed as one of the top rookies, even pocketing a Rookie of the Year vote. Fast forward to today, and it seems the experts have finally opened their eyes. Maybe they actually watch the games now, or perhaps they stopped buying into the TikTok hype, or maybe reality hit them like a missed layup off the backboard. Either way, justice has been served because the more you watch Angel play, the more it's clear she hasn't improved. In fact, she might have even regressed.
Angel Reese was older. I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
The WNBA is absolutely losing it. On the latest comedy special, Angel Reese declared her intention to dethrone Caitlin Clark, as if the enduring superstar could be unseated by someone who's been busy feigning injuries and shedding tears over on-screen theatrics. And let's not overlook her complaints about her salary being substandard. Angel has officially branded herself.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
It's truly ridiculous that she believes she can outshine Clark, the athlete who consistently makes history each season. Reese has only perfected the art of self-deprecation, but who knows? Maybe she's earning accolades for being pitiable. Before Reese starts talking about taking over the WNBA, she might want to reassess her reputation first. Switching coaches won't make her the standout. She needs to adjust her attitude first.
And look, Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her?
Angel Reese appears convinced that partnering with David Alexander, LeBron James's trainer, will catapult her into women's basketball stardom. Indeed, collaborating with one of the top trainers globally might make her seem nearly unbeatable and poised to unseat Caitlin Clark. However, while Reese is busy refining her general movement patterns, Caitlin Clark is actively enhancing her shooting and playmaking, key aspects that define the best players on the court. Best of luck, Angel. Clark is sharpening the skills that have already left you behind as you continue your current efforts. Reese might have enjoyed her time at LSU, but equating her level with Clark's is like claiming you'll drop a hit album after singing in the shower for 5 minutes. That's not competitive, it's sheer delusion. While Clark reigns supreme in basketball overall, Reese may have been LSU's standout. But Caitlin is out there transforming the entire game. Reese boasts about overtaking Clark. However, I'd love to hear more about how you intend to dethrone a legend before you've even started making your mark professionally.
Come on, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So, it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Let's rewind to the 2023 NCAA Championship. Remember that scene? Reese was desperately trying to steal Clark's spotlight with a childish taunt, flashing the "you can't see me" gesture right back at Clark. Oh, that was certainly a moment, but for all the wrong reasons. While Reese was busy playing WWE with her hand movements, Clark was out there effortlessly outscoring everyone, including Reese. Angel's bold move was a weak attempt to make herself relevant by trying to steal the show for just 5 seconds. Reese was merely acting to grab attention. This isn't the case.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Speaking of numbers, let's consider Reese's WNBA debut. It was underwhelming at best. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is setting the league on fire, averaging 19.2 points per game and dishing out assists like she's been playing professionally for years. In comparison, Reese is putting up 13.6 points per game, which is almost 6 points shy of Clark's tally, in case anyone was unaware. And let's not overlook that Clark topped all rookies with 8.4 assists per game. So, what was Reese up to? She was still mastering consistent shooting, though she certainly gave it her best effort. Moving on to the Rookie of the Year race, Reese only reached the finals, which now feels more like a participation ribbon. Clark didn't just win, she entered the league with a clear intention to dominate, and now Reese is struggling to keep pace. Clark secured that award effortlessly. It wasn't even a contest.
But they still ask you about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool. The pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool. I can just hoop. So I don't know when it started to just break out where I was just in Rookie of the Year conversations. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
Reese's off-court life has truly become a spectacle. She secured a shoe deal with Reebok, which is quite a feat for someone who hasn't yet proven she can consistently perform at the highest level. Let's give her that. Meanwhile, Clark is out there revolutionizing the game with every move she makes. Reese is busy showcasing her lifestyle on Instagram, which is nice and all, but if you think that will help you surpass Clark, then good luck. If I were in her place, I'd focus more on basketball instead of counting the number of likes on your posts. In summary, while Angel Reese may be garnering attention with her off-court ventures and endorsement deals, Caitlin Clark stands out as the true powerhouse in women's basketball. Clark's unwavering dedication to refining her skills, combined with her impressive on-court statistics and game-changing plays, solidifies her position as a league leader. As the WNBA progresses, it's evident that Caitlin Clark is not only setting new standards, but also shaping the future of the sport. Meanwhile, Reese's focus on lifestyle branding and inconsistent performance leaves her trailing behind, highlighting the clear distinction between fleeting fame and sustained excellence in the world of basketball.
Great player, good person as well. She's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage in her career.
Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball.
Another forever moment for this transformational superstar.
Have you caught what Juju Watkins said about Caitlin Clark? The basketball scene is electric, and the WNBA's usual figures are rushing to stay composed. Picture this: a 19-year-old college athlete exhibiting more class, respect, and leadership than veterans who've been in the league for years. Watkins just spoke some real talk, stirring up a league that clearly needs a reality check. And guess what? Angel Reese isn't brushing off Watkins' support for Caitlin Clark.
After spending the last 12 or so months complaining about being sexualized, after spending the last 12 months complaining about the dirty messages that she receives from lonely men on social media, Angel Reese, she was given the cover of the winter edition of Vogue magazine.
Let's set the scene. The WNBA has transformed into a drama series lately, with Angel Reese striving to be the leading star. Take, for example, the exaggerated buzz surrounding her Vogue cover. You'd think she revolutionized the game based on how they're celebrating it.
Angel Reese, who the media wants you to believe is the face of the WNBA, when at minimum, she is the co-star in this box office drama.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has just earned Time's Athlete of the Year, one of the most esteemed honors in all of sports, and the league barely took notice. It's almost laughable. Clark's accomplishments are monumental, yet it seems the WNBA has chosen to highlight the wrong narrative.
What would you say was the greater accomplishment? The cover of Vogue magazine or Athlete of the Year? Without a doubt, Athlete of the Year is the far greater honor. So I am incredibly confused with the difference in response to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Let's be real for a moment. Vogue is undoubtedly a significant milestone in pop culture, but it's far from the ultimate achievement. On the other hand, Time's Athlete of the Year is a worldwide honor that places Clark alongside legends like LeBron James and Simone Biles, athletes who have transformed their respective sports. The contrast is immense. One accolade celebrates genuine greatness, while the other offers a temporary spotlight. Reese's cover may be trendy, but Clark's award solidifies her legacy.
You guys tell me, what would be the bigger accomplishment? Landing the cover of Vogue or being named Athlete of the Year by Time magazine? Not Female Athlete of the Year. I'm talking about Athlete of the Year, which means if you won the award, you were competing with legends like Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Donnie Carr.
And here's the catch. The WNBA seems unable to prioritize effectively. They're elevating Reese's Vogue feature as if it's the league's most significant event in years. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's remarkable achievements are being dismissed as an afterthought. It's almost humiliating to witness how they're manipulating the narrative, and Juju Watkins is not standing for it.
All kidding aside, I am happy for Angel Reese. Judging by some of her comments, Angel Reese dreams of being a fashion icon, which makes sense. I mean, seriously, what child grows up with dreams of becoming a dump diver in the WNBA? What child grows up with dreams of playing pretend basketball in empty high school gym?
What we're seeing isn't merely a difference in accomplishments. It's a prime example of how the WNBA chooses to direct its focus. Caitlin Clark is elevating the game to new heights, demonstrating that women's basketball deserves a place on the global stage. Angel Reese? she's preoccupied with garnering praise for herself. The distinction couldn't be more apparent. Regarding Caitlin Clark's latest extraordinary achievements, the WNBA has remained silent. It's almost as though they're intimidated by what Clark stands for. This isn't just any athlete we're discussing. Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, a transformative force who's redefining women's basketball. Instead of honoring her as the superstar she truly is, the league is behaving as if she doesn't exist at all. It's ridiculous.
Although I am happy for Angel Reese for achieving her lifelong dream of landing the cover of Vogue magazine and being viewed as a fashion icon, I thought the celebration from the media was a bit strange. Some might even call it hypocritical.
So how did the WNBA react to Clark being named Time's Athlete of the Year? Oh, you're going to find this amusing. Instead of rolling out the red carpet or even sending a simple congratulatory tweet, they chose to ignore her. That's right, complete silence. It's as if they've slipped into an alternate reality where Clark's monumental success doesn't even matter. But here's where it gets really interesting. While the WNBA is busy pretending Clark isn't carrying the league on her shoulders, the broader sports world has taken notice. Clark isn't just being compared to her peers in women's basketball anymore. She's being mentioned alongside the biggest names in all of sports. That's a big deal, folks. And yet, the WNBA seems determined to treat her as an afterthought.
Angel Reese was celebrated for landing the cover of some magazine that no one reads anymore, while Caitlin Clark, she was vilified.
You'd expect the league to be thrilled about having a superstar who single-handedly fills arenas. We're talking about sold-out games wherever she plays. Meanwhile, most WNBA games struggle to attract spectators. The contrast is immense. But instead of capitalizing on Clark's star power, the league is treating her success as a challenge to be managed rather than a victory to be celebrated.
This is how Caitlin Clark was treated by jealous players who directly benefit from her star power. It's also how she was treated by those in the media who also benefit from the drawing power of Caitlin Clark.
What's genuinely unfolding here? It seems the WNBA is apprehensive about success, particularly when it's embodied by Caitlin Clark. She's drawing massive crowds and setting new records. Yet, instead of embracing this momentum, the league appears to be overlooking it. It's a peculiar example of self-sabotage.
Caitlin Clark was pressured by the media to share her honor with unknown and undeserving WNBA players who contributed absolutely nothing to the elevation of the league last season.
And here's the twist. While the WNBA keeps dropping the ball, other players are stepping up to give Clark the recognition she truly deserves. Enter Juju Watkins, the 19-year-old phenom who's wise beyond her years. Watkins openly lauded Clark's influence, demonstrating more maturity than the entire WNBA combined. Just imagine that, a teenager acknowledging greatness while the league itself chooses to ignore it.
I have been saying this for a while now. This is one of the main problems with the WNBA. They want to pick and choose which players are celebrated. They want to tell you who you should support.
Clark isn't merely a star. She's a movement. She's transcending the sport, standing alongside the biggest names in all of athletics. Yet, instead of celebrating her, the WNBA is treating her rise as something to fear. It's downright comical. As the league continues its awkward dance around Clark's success, Watkins is out here dropping truth bombs that have everyone talking.
But after reading her recent interview with Fox News, Juju Watkins, she has earned some of my respect. After reading this interview with Fox News, it became abundantly clear that Juju Watkins, she gets it.
So what's the WNBA's ultimate plan here? Are they genuinely expecting Clark's impact to simply vanish? Spoiler, that's not going to happen. She's drawing unparalleled attention to women's basketball, and their reaction is complete silence. Meanwhile, Athletes like Watkins are demonstrating that the next generation understands the significance. They recognize the bigger picture.
Fox asked her about the influx of attention that Caitlin Clark brought to women's basketball. Here is what Juju Watkins said. So many new fans in the sport can sometimes be a headache. Not everyone knows what they're talking about, but it's great for the sport. The fact that people are watching is enough in itself. We would like it to be positive, but it's not always going to be like that. As long as we continue to raise the numbers and viewership goes up, I think that's all we can ask for.
Juju Watkins isn't just thriving on the court, she's showing the league how to truly embrace success. At only 19, she's already accomplishing what the WNBA should have achieved years ago, giving Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves and demonstrating that women's basketball belongs on the global stage. It's almost poetic. While the WNBA falters, the youngest voices are stepping up to lead the way.
You know, I love talking about Caitlin Clark on this show, and she participated in some kind of LPGA Pro-Am, drew monster crowds. There's pictures of just like everybody trying to get an autograph with Caitlin Clark.
Outrageous criticism, media frenzy, and a string of headlines. It's safe to say that Caitlin Clark has been at the center of controversy over the past few months. In a move that caught everyone off guard, Clark struck a headline-making deal with the LPGA, calling her WNBA legacy into question and sparking debates about loyalty, fame, and ambition.
One more key photo. Caitlin, great to meet you. Looking forward to the afternoon together. Okay, go. Come on. Hug it out. Squeeze in close together. We'll get one right here, please.
Speaking of which, the Caitlin Clark effect is starting to take shape. After delivering what could be the best rookie season in NBA history, she made the unexpected move to female golf, where she's now being heralded as the next big thing. But how did Clark manage to conquer 2 worlds in just 8 months? And why are critics calling her success a betrayal of women's basketball? In this video, we'll break down everything from Caitlin Clark's new deal to the backlash and everything surrounding her controversial journey. But before we dive in, let's take a trip down memory lane. At the start of the year, the Caitlin Clark effect was undeniable. Even before she set foot on a WNBA court, ticket sales for every platform skyrocketed by over 90% once she declared for the draft. Her performance in the league has been nothing short of outstanding. In her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, she averaged 19 points per game, scoring at least 13 points in 29 of her 36 games this year. What's even more surprising are her record-breaking feats, becoming the first player in WNBA history to hit over 100 three-point shots and rack up 300 assists in a single season. At this point, NBA analysts were already calling her a generational talent, but Clark's influence wasn't just reflected in the numbers, it was in the stands as well. Every week, Fever games turned into must-watch events, with fans traveling from across the country to see her play. She brought an entirely new audience to the WNBA. Meanwhile, Reese wasn't just riding the wave of hype, she was making her own history, becoming the first rookie to record an all-star game, double-double, the first WNBA player to achieve back-to-back 20-rebound games, and pulling off an impressive 24 double-doubles in her rookie season. While others are still trying to catch up, Reese is reshaping the game, and Clark has done more than just elevate the league's profile. However, while Clark was drawing record crowds, boosting TV ratings, and breathing new life into women's basketball, the WNBA failed to make her the face of the league. As a result, Caitlin Clark is now taking her talents and fan base elsewhere. Enter her debut at an LPGA Pro-Am, which drew bigger crowds than some of the tour's main events. At this point, she's not just rewriting the narrative in basketball, she's also making waves in women's golf. Playing alongside world number 1 Nelly Korda at the Pelican Golf Club's Annika Pro-Am, Clark showed that her influence extends far beyond the basketball court. If anyone thought her dominance was limited to the hardwood, her impressive performance on the greens has now silenced many doubters. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the Pelican Golf Club course, it was clear this wasn't just another golfer taking their turn. The LPGA capitalized on the moment by pairing Clark with Nelly Korda, a marketing move that spotlighted both players as generational talents. The anticipation was electric, and even the Golf Channel rearranged its programming to cover her live, something unheard of for a Pro-Am event. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark took the spotlight in Florida, drawing massive crowds, and once again, proving that her star power extends well beyond the basketball court. Alongside Korda, Clark played with tournament host Annika Sorenstam, teeing off at the crack of dawn and launching an early shot into the gallery. Fans were glued to her every move at Pelican Golf Club. The WNBA Rookie of the Year's presence drove ticket sales and boosted media attention for the event. After the round, she was swarmed for autographs, and with an endorsement deal from Gainbridge, the LPGA tournament's sponsor, and a role in a women's leadership summit, it was clear her presence was far from casual. While Clark insists that golf is her escape, her single long-range putt left fans wondering, is she just playing for fun, or is she quietly taking over yet another sport? One thing is clear, the LPGA is thriving on Caitlin Clark's star power in a way the WNBA could only dream of. The media and golf elite couldn't stop singing her praises. 8-time LPGA champion Nelly Korda, who played alongside Clark, had nothing but admiration for her after the game, praising her skills and presence on the course.
It was so amazing. She's so sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here, and to see how amazing of an influence she is.
The praise didn't stop with Nelly Korda. LPGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan was equally blown away, calling Caitlin Clark's performance incredible and applauding her passion for the game. Overall, Clark's presence on the course didn't just spark excitement, it stirred up drama. Her growing star power now threatens to overshadow seasoned pros in yet another sport. Is Caitlin Clark the crossover phenom golf never knew it needed? Or is this a sign that women's sports are evolving faster than their leagues can keep up? At this point, it's clear Clark isn't slowing down anytime soon. However, not everyone is cheering for Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. While Korda and Monahan praised her for uniting fans across sports, insiders in the WNBA are reportedly seething over her crossover success. The LPGA's full-court press to spotlight Clark has left some in the WNBA feeling left behind. Insiders claim league officials are frustrated, not only by the LPGA's success, but also because the WNBA has failed to fully capitalize on Clark's star power. Social media lit up with clips of her swings, and national basketball and golf media flocked to the event. Tournament host and golf legend Annika Sorenstam captured the moment perfectly, highlighting Clark's undeniable impact on the sport. For better or worse, Caitlin Clark is rewriting the playbook for crossover stardom and shaking up women's sports in the process. Despite questions about her commitment to golf, it was revealed she's been swinging clubs since childhood. After making her 2023 debut at the John Deere Classic alongside major champion Zach Johnson, Clark's appearance at the Pelican Golf Club proved one thing: her crossover appeal is no fluke. Meanwhile, WNBA enthusiasts are rumored to feel overshadowed by Clark's dominance on the golf course. despite her record-breaking rookie season on the basketball court. While golf fans flock to see her tee off and whispers of a potential LPGA contract swirl, WNBA fans are left asking why their league hasn't given Clark the same level of attention. Take her Rookie of the Year award, for example. Rather than a grand celebration for her groundbreaking achievements, it was handed out in a nearly empty arena with little fanfare, a baffling move for someone who has done more to elevate the league in one season than most players do in a career. As the buzz around Clark's golf ventures intensifies, the WNBA's failure to capitalize on her star power becomes increasingly obvious. The LPGA has done what the WNBA couldn't. They turned Caitlin Clark's star power into a game changer. But here's the irony. Caitlin's rise should be a win for everyone. She has brought unprecedented attention to women's sports. Yet, while the LPGA embraced the moment and ran with it, the WNBA stayed stuck in its old ways, hesitant, overly cautious, and failing to seize the bold opportunity. When a male NBA or NFL star steps into another sport, social media explodes with hype. This was the WNBA's chance to do the same, celebrate Clark, ride the wave of excitement, and prove they can champion their biggest stars. Instead, they fumbled. Now, the league finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with a familiar issue: how to balance promoting standout players like Clark while still pushing the league forward as a whole. The LPGA made its move and won. Meanwhile, the WNBA risks being left in the dust, overshadowed by a star they didn't know how to celebrate. As Clark juggles her intense off-season training while fielding interest from the rapidly growing 3-on-3 women's basketball league, her crossover into golf raises an even bigger question. Is Caitlin Clark reshaping women's sports? Or is she quietly stepping away from basketball altogether?